But yeah, like I said, we do have like, lower time frame gaps to the upside. We are seeing a potential lower time frame accumulation with like how, we kind of again like staying in this range the way that we are. Having this first drive, second drive, third drive, right? Having this third drive as well, like just barely poking below internal points of liquidity. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad for some potential opportunities. So, like I said, maybe we could do something that could be short term. I'll go ahead and set an alert here and see if it comes back. But yeah, guys, I mean, look at gold now. Gold on the 5 minute, starting to leave behind imbalances, right? We're starting to actually trade above previous highs. So basically, the hope from here for our session would be if we can potentially hold, like, don't get back into this gap just yet, but eventually get price to retrace back into this push to the downside here, right? So again, like we're really starting to look like a full accumulation now. Like we can just see how fast price sold off from here to go ahead and attack these lows there, right? So this looks like it could be a potential spring where we're now starting to break out. And then now what we're going to be looking for is if we can get a potential LPSY to continue to see price head to the upside. So guys, I mean, gold is showing it, right? Like it is showing like what we wanted to see. This ends up becoming an institutional down candle here. It's like if we engulf back up, then that might be where we start to look for this trade. Basically, like now where I'd want to get in is like right here where we just left behind this imbalance. If we could just get a wick down there, then that would give us a zone. But yeah, I am in on here too. So let's see if this sticks. Let's see if this holds up. We'll see how this 5 minute goes here. Because this 15 minute here is going to close in the next 8 minutes, right? What we're kind of expecting is like for this 15 minute here to get engulfed with the bullish candle with the next candle, right? So like we're going to need that in the next like basically 5 minute candle and the next two 5 minute candles. 5 minute potentially turning into a trap candle right now. So that's good. Again, we're just going to need to actually see it close above here. Yeah, 1 minute left in this 5 minute candle and it's not looking great. Really need that 5 minutes to flip there. Otherwise, like seeing that come down towards the low, I would just cut it short. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short. To be honest, guys, like it doesn't look like it's gonna hold. Maybe like when we actually get down towards like new lows, and it reacts. But that current 5 minute close, like it's just not good. So yeah, good decision to close out early, I would say so far. Again, I don't want to like take a trade here and like put a stop there or anything because it could be we're going to run that first before we actually go. We kind of set the parameters. We were like, all right, like what is it that we would want the candles to do if price were to actually go our way? Like for example, like seeing that 5 minute close bullish, that didn't happen. As soon as it closed bearish, we're like, all right, we're out of here. It's just sticking to that. We actually start to come down, test these levels that we're in now, and then like actually start to like buy back up and react. Then we can like again follow up later on, right? Look for the retracement to then like have a buy that like actually is rooted in current price action, right? And again, we're still waiting. There hasn't really been any engulfment, no reason to buy in the current price action. Definitely, if we do engulf here, like using this wick here as a stop is going to be the move. Pretty decent 5 minute down candle there as well. If we start to break through, then that's it. But if we can hold here, like then maybe that accumulation can still give us a buy. Nice one in the trap candle just printed. We can buy up. That can be something to play off of later. Silver is just really in a much higher place than gold is, right? So it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's showing that silver is actually it's not showing like huge signs of weakness or anything, especially compared to gold. Gold has dropped a lot more from that high than silver has. So it could be it's just because of, again, we're trying to manipulate some people out. It's about to close. Hey guys, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and take a risk here on a position again. Go ahead and see. Go. All right, we have price again, like having this push to the downside here that just happened, right? I'm currently in profit already, by the way. That's blessed. But yeah, like just seeing this 3 minute coming down, right? We have like this wick coming back down into that area. And then when we made that wick, we also see like this 1 minute institutional candle that came down, right? We have a trap candle that came down, tapped into there. So that's basically like what we're looking to play off of is, that we're starting to actually see like is signs of order flow as we're starting to walk back up, right? So seeing us break, like basically, this being potentially the final manipulation down, and then after having that manipulation down, starting to see price walk its way up from there, right? We're only risking to fill this low here. If we do break down below this low, then I'm going to be completely out of the trade. This 3-minute down candle here looks like a potential institutional candle. 5-minute down candle here looks like a potential institutional candle, right? And then we just opened on the new 15-minute. So if we can see this down candle also, again, be that last down candle before we start to go higher, right? Then, maybe we can start to go up towards here. So if we do actually hold this low with where we are now, like the first target is going to be like basically to come up and fill this gap that happened at the beginning of the session today. It's going to be the first target. All right, we have a pretty clean reaction already. So maybe we can, yeah, like again, like just this is why I closed that trade early, because I'd rather go ahead and like wait, be like, okay, are we actually going to get the price action that we want? Or are we just going to let the trade go and just let it, continue to break below, right? But this is pretty good looks right now, right? It's possible. I mean, there was a gap that was left behind here, right? And there's also an institutional candle there. So, if you guys didn't get in, maybe we'll still get a retracement back towards that level. But yeah, we are back in the imbalance now that we were looking at. Right now, still looking good. I like how this current 3-minute candle now, like, we obviously had the potential institutional down candle that happened here. We had the wick where we had the 1-minute manipulation. And then now coming back into that zone, seeing the current candle be a trap candle is a good look for our trade. And what's good too is like, if this one does end up playing out, like our risk to reward is going to be so much bigger. Like we were only looking for like a 1-4 or a 1-3, I think here. But because we closed that trade early, we only lost like 0.5%. And then we managed to catch like a much more precise entry with a much smaller stop because it retraced so much, right? So if we do reach up towards this gap now we're looking at a 1-6 risk to reward instead of a 1-4. So that's a pretty big difference. Right? Good reaction so far. Right? I love how we retrace back into that imbalance, right? Filled that imbalance. There is no more imbalance left in this range down here. Now we wait. So we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited. And then we pressed the button. And then we wait and we wait for more. I am up 130 pips, guys. Up, 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 and up, and up, and up, and up. Woo. Yannick is like 5 a.m. crying right now, but like he's happy because he's up. It's all good. 5-minute, we had a down candle that just got engulfed, brought it right back up. Big wick on top. So again, like it just makes more sense to see this continue to boom. We now have a 15-minute trap candle, even better. We should definitely buy. So like this is where we said we would want to go break even. Probably that would be the best course of action, I would say. It's not like we're just picking a random, zone, right? Like it actually makes sense. Like if this is truly, what we identified as that huge sell-off to be the manipulation down, it would make sense for us to eventually reach back up to there. But yeah, guys, I'll drop this in the chat, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, much love, much appreciation. Peace out.
Bang, bang. As you guys can see, trade that we called out live on stream with you guys ended up playing out beautifully. We took a buy right here on gold, and we absolutely sniped the bottom of it. Currently, gold is sitting at about a 520 pip profit with over a 1-6 risk to reward. So beautiful setup for any of you guys that saw us trade live, and great example. So catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace out.